Hi guys, welcome back again to my channel. In today's tutorial we're going to be learning how to make this beautiful beaded bag, and I promise you this is going to be one of the easiest bead making of a bag you've ever come across. These are the materials I'm going to be needing to make this bag. Here I have my fishing line and it is 0.50, my scissors, and then some size 4 round beads. Okay, start by taking about 30 to 40 inches line, and then I'm going to go ahead to fold the line into two. I'm going to fold it in two like that, making sure the two ends are equal. Okay, now I'm going to be adding 4 beads. Just go ahead and then add 4 beads. It doesn't matter where you're adding the beads, just add 3. I'm adding 3 beads on that line, and then I'm going to be interlocking with the 4th one. Okay, just interlock with the 4th one and then pull very tight, and I'm having something like this. Okay, so I'm going ahead now to add 3 beads. Now this time I'm going to be adding 3 beads. Okay, so I'm grabbing one of the lines, I'm going to add 1 bead to it, then I'll add 1 bead on the other line as well. I'll pull down and then interlock with the 3rd one. And then I'm going to pull down. So this is what I am having. Okay, so I'm going ahead to add 3 more beads again. I'll add 1 on the other line, add 1 bead on the other line, and then interlock with the 3rd one. And make sure you're stretching your line. Okay, then I'm going to pull down, and this is what I am having. Okay, I'm going ahead, I'm adding 3 more beads again. I'm putting 1 on the other line and then 1 on the other line, then I'll interlock with the 3rd one. This is how you're going to continue to add 3 beads, 1 bead on the other line, 1 bead on the other line, just like that, and then interlock with 1. So you're going to continue with this process until you get your desired length. Okay, this is what I am having. As you can see, I have about 27 rings. If you count the rings there, I have 27 rings. You can make more than that and you can make lesser. It's up to you. So now this is the last one. Okay, so I still want to add another. We're going to create another row now on that side. So what I'm going to do now, just grab one of the lines. Okay, either this one or that one, which one, anyone you want, and then I'm going to be adding 3 beads. Okay, so I'm going to add 2 on that line and then interlock with the 3rd one. And this is what, as you can see, our line is coming up that way. It's set for us to create another row. Okay, so now on this other line, on this line, I'm going to add 3 beads. Okay, I'm going to add 1, 2, and then I'll interlock with the 3rd one, like that. Okay, make sure you are stretching your line. All right, so now I'm going to be using this other line. I'm going to pass through the next bead, then I'm going to grab the other line. I'm going to be adding 2 beads, 1 and 2. I will interlock with the 2nd one. Okay, so this time I'm going to be passing the next bead and adding only 2 beads. Okay, so I'm going to pass using my other line. I'll pass through the next bead, then I'm using the other line. I'm going to add 2 beads on the other line, 1 and 2. I'm going to interlock with the second one. I'm going to pull down. Then using my other line again, this line, I'm going to pass through the next bead. Okay, and then on the other line, I'm going to be adding 2 beads. I'll add 2 beads there. I'll add 1 and then interlock with the second one. This is how you're going to continue to add 2 beads. Okay, one more time, I'm going to pass through the next bead. Always remember that the line you're using to pass through the beads is not the same line you're going to use to pick. When you pass your line through the beads, you're going to use the other line to pick. Okay, I'm passing my line again through the next bead again. So this is how you're going to continue until you get to the end. Okay, just continue like that to add 2 beads, then you get to the end. So now I've gotten to the end. I'm going to pass through the last bead. Now I'm passing through the last bead now. So still on that line I used in passing through that last bead, still on that line, I'm going to add 2 beads. I'll add 1 and then interlock with the second one. Okay, as you can see, our line is coming up again for us to create another row. Always remember that whenever you get to the last one, when you pass through the last one, still on that line, you're going to be adding 2 beads there. So now we are ready to add another row. We've created 2 rows already. So now on this line, we're going to create another row. On that line there, we're going to be adding 3 beads. 1 2 3. I'll interlock with the third one. Okay, then I'll use my other line there. I'll go through the next bead. Like that. Make sure you're stretching your line. Then using the other line, I'm going to be adding 2 beads this time. Just 2 beads. So from here, you're going to be adding 2 beads. Okay, you pass through the next bead and add 2 beads. Okay, and make sure you're stretching your line. All right, this is what I'm having. So I'm going ahead again to pass my line through the next bead. Then I'm grabbing the other line. I'm going to be adding 2 beads there. Just 2 beads. I'll add 1 and then interlock with the second one. I'll pull down. Okay, I'll pass through the next bead again. Okay, and then using my other line again, I'm going to be adding 2 beads. That line there. Okay, I'm going to be adding 2 beads on that line. So this is how you're going to continue until you get to the end. When you get to the end, you turn again and go back to the other end again and turn again, just like that. Okay, so right now this is what I've gotten. Here I have 26 rings by 18 rings. Okay, 26 by 18 rings. You can add more or you can do it lesser, is up to you. So now I'm going to be showing you how to tie the line there. Okay, what I'm going to do now, how to tie the line, you're going to be passing this line through the beads there, okay, through that bead there and the next one. Okay, and then you're going to be grabbing the other line as well. You're going to be passing through that bead there. So I'm just going to pass it through that bead there. All I'm trying to do is just to make sure my two lines are meeting. So once your two lines are meeting, just go ahead and tie it very well. Tie 2 times. Okay, this is what I'm trying to do. So make sure you tie 2 times, just like that. When you tie it, make sure you're stretching your line to make it stronger. Okay, so once you tie it, you don't just cut there, you don't just cut it there. Go ahead and weave the line, weave your line into the beads. I mean, just pass your fishing line into the beads. Okay, pass as many beads as you can. When you pass your lines into the beads, then you go ahead and cut out the excess. Okay, right now I'm done weaving or passing my line into the bead, so I'm just going ahead to cut out the excess. Okay, so now I'm done cutting it. This is what I am having. It is time for us to get to the next stage. Okay, so right now I'm going to be grabbing myself another fresh line. It is time for us to start the next stage. So here, this is how we're going to bead this time around. We're going to start from that edge and go all the way down, over there again, then up again, and then we're going to turn back, go back again to that edge. We're not going to touch this side. Okay, so now I'm going to be putting my line into the bead, that bead there. Okay, so I'm grabbing the line, the one that is outside, the one that is on my left line, on my left hand, sorry. So I'm going to be adding 3 beads. Okay, I'm going to add 1, 2, and then interlock with the third one. Now make sure you're stretching your line. So on the other line, the line on my right hand, I'm going to pass it through the next bead, pass through the next bead, and then on your other line you're going to be adding 2 beads. This time you're going to be adding 2 beads. Okay, just go ahead and add 1 and then interlock with the second one, and then pull down. Using your other line again, you're going to pass through the next bead, like that, and then on the other line you're going to be adding 2 beads. Okay, 1 and 2, interlock with the second one. Okay, then on the other line, using the other line again, pass through the next bead. This is how you're going to continue until you go round like I described earlier. Just continue like this. So on the other side, on the other line, I'm adding 2 beads, 1 and 2. I'm interlocking with the second one, like that. So just continue like this. So I'm passing my line again through the next bead. So just continue like that. Okay, So right now I'm done going round like I described earlier. So now I'm on the last side, so I just passed through the next bead. Okay, still on that same line you used in passing through the last bead, you're going to be adding 2 beads there, one, and then I'll interlock with the second one to close it up. Okay, now we've closed that up. Now our line is coming up again for us to create another layer. Okay, to start another layer, on your line, the one that is on the outside, you're going to be adding 3 beads, 1, 2, and then interlock with the third one. Okay, then using the line that is inside, they're going to be passing through the next bead, that line there. Just go ahead and pass through the next bead. Okay, when that is done, grab your other line. You're going to be adding 2 beads. This time around you're going to be adding 2 beads. Okay, so I'm adding 2 beads there. I'll add 1 and then interlock with the second one, and make sure you're stretching your line as you're beading. Okay, this is what I am having. So that is it. So right now I'm going to be passing that line there, that line, I'm going to pass it through the next bead. Make sure you're stretching your line, and then I'll grab my other line. I'm going to be adding 2 beads there. On this other line I'm going to add 2 beads, 1, and then interlock with the second one. Okay, then using your other line again, go to the next bead and then add 2 beads. When you go to the next bead, stretch and pull very tight. Okay, and then with your other bead line, you're going to be adding 2 beads. Add 2 beads there, 1, and then interlock with the second one. This is how you're going to continue. Make sure you're stretching your line. Just continue that way. I'm passing through the next bead again. Okay, then on the other line I'm going to be adding 2 beads. I'll add 1 and then interlock with the second one. All right, I'm going ahead to pass through the next bead using my other line. So this is how you're going to continue until you go down there. I'm adding another 2 beads again, 1, and then I'll interlock with the second one. Okay, so just go ahead and continue to bead until you go all the way down, back to that side again, then up there, and then go back again. As you can see, this is the second row we are creating. Okay, so I'm just going to add 3 rows. As you can see, this is what I'm having. Don't touch that edge. Okay, so I created 3 rows. You can do more than that, and you can do lesser. Is up to you. So I'm just going to do exactly what I have here. I'm going to duplicate this again. Now I made this again. As you can see, I am having 2 of it there. So I'm going to set them together like this. This is how it's going to be. Now I'm going to set this aside and then make the handle. For the handle, I'm grabbing myself another fresh line. I'm going to be adding 4 beads. 1, 2, 3, and then I'll interlock with the 4th one. I'll pull down. Okay, so I'll on this line again, I'm going to be putting 2 and 3 beads. Sorry, I'll put 1 on this line and then put 1 on the other line. I'll interlock with the 3rd one. Well, we are going to be creating only 3 rows for this handle. Now we've made 2. Okay, we've made 2 rings, sorry. So on the just grab one of the lines, okay, any one of them, add 2 beads to it. Add 3 beads to it, sorry. 1, 2, 3, and then interlock with the 3rd one. Just grab any of the lines and add 3 beads to it. When you do that, you're going to be having something like this. Your line is coming up again for you to start another layer. You are using only 3 layers for this. Okay, so now that our line is coming up like that, so on the line that is outside, we are going to be adding 3 beads there. That line there, this line. Okay, so I'm going to add 3 beads. I'm going to add 1, 2, and 3. Interlock with the 3rd one. Okay, I'm going ahead to interlock with the 3rd one. So I'm going to pass my other line through the next bead. I'm going through the next bead. I'm going to stretch my line very tight. So on the other line now, I'll add 2 beads. Just 2 beads. Okay, 1, and then interlock with the 2nd one. Sorry. So it's remaining the last one now. So when you pass through the last one, just pass through the last one. Still on that line you used in passing through the last one, you're going to add 2 beads. Still on that same line. Okay, always remember, still on that same line, I'll add 1. I'll add 2 beads there. I'm adding 1, and then I'll interlock with the 2nd one. You are done with the 2nd layer. We're going to create another layer again. So now on the line that is on the outside, okay, the outside line, that one there, we are going to be adding 3 beads. When you add two, you interlock with the third one. Okay, grabbing your other line, you're going to pass it through the next bead. When you do that, then you're going to add two beads on the other line. When you add one and two, make sure you interlock with the second one. Now is remaining the last one. Okay, when you pass through the last one, still on that line you used in passing through the last one, add two beads on that same line, okay. When you add two beads, you see that your line is going to go up for you to start another layer. Okay, so this is how you're going to continue until you get your desired length. Just continue this way until you get to your desired length. Okay, right now this is what I am having. I have about, this is 3 rows and 3 by 37 rings. Okay, you can make it longer and you can make it shorter. So now this is what I am having. I'm just going ahead to tie the fishing line somewhere. Just quickly go ahead and tie your fishing line. I've shown you how to tie it. If you don't know how to tie it, just go back and watch the video again. Okay, now I'm done tying it. I'm grabbing myself another fresh line. Okay, now I'm done tying it. I'm grabbing myself another fresh line. So I'm going to be adding just one bead into the line, making sure I'll pull it down to the middle, making sure my line is equal. Okay, I folded it into two. I added one bead, I put to the middle like that. So I'm going to be grabbing this handle now. So this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to skip 3 rows. 1 2 3, just skip 3 rows like that. Skip 3 rows, and then you're going to start from the 4th one. So I'm grabbing one of my line, I'm going to pass it through. I'm going to be folding this like this. Okay, just fold it like that, skip 3 rows and start from the 4th one. Okay, when that is done, I'm going to be, this is the 4th one, that one there. I'm grabbing one of my line, I'm going to pass it through the one of the 4th bead, that one there. I'm going to pass through that bead there. So when I'm done, I'm grabbing the other line, the other side of the line. I'm going to pass through the other side as well, through that bead on the other side as well. Just follow up what I'm doing. As you can see, this is what I am having. Okay, so I'm going to be passing this line through the next bead. I'll pass this line through the next bead. Okay, I'll pass my both fishing line through the next bead. Okay, I'm going to be interlocking with one. Okay, I'm going to be passing my line again, that line I'm going to pass it through the next bead again on that side. I'll grab the other line, the other side of the line, I'll pass through the next bead on that other side. Okay, and then I'll interlock with one. interlock with one bead. This is how you're going to continue, okay, by adding one bead. So again, I'm going back again. I'm going to pass this my other line through the next bead. And I'll grab the other side of the line. I'll grab the other line. I'll pass it through the other side. When I pass it through the other side, I'll be interlocking with one bead. So this is how you're going to continue until you get to the end. Continue to pass your lines through the beads there and adding one. When you get to the last one, make sure you leave the three first row, okay, and stop at the fourth one. Okay, just like that. So now this is what I am having. So I'm going to duplicate this again. I'm going to make another one because I'm going to be attaching two handles. So now I'm grabbing one side of the bag. Okay, I'm grabbing one side of the bag. I'm going to leave the first bead. I'm going to leave the first bead there. All right, so I'm going to be getting myself another fresh line. I'll get a new line. I'm going to insert, or I'm going to add one bead to it and pull it down to the middle. Okay, so when you look at this, we have 3 beads there. Okay, 3 beads there, and we're going to be attaching it to the next 3 beads. Just keep the first one and start from the second one. So I'm going to be passing that line through the first bead on the handle, and then use the other line. I'll pass through the other bead on the bag. Remember I said you should skip the first one and pass through the second one. Okay, you are starting from the second one. Okay, so when that is done, I'm going to be interlocking with one bead. Okay, now on this other line, I'm going to pass through the next bead on the handle. Remember. Okay, then I'll use the other line. I'll pass through the next bead again on the bag. So when I'm done, I'm going to interlock with one bead. Okay, so right now I'm going to be it's remaining only one bead now. Okay, so I'm going to pass through the last bead now on the handle. Using the other line, I'll pass through the next one again on the bag. I will go ahead and interlock with one bead. Now that is done, I'm going to pass my line through the beads there. Okay, just make sure you pass your line through the beads and make sure your fishing line, the lines are meeting. Okay, when the lines are meeting, go ahead and tie it neatly. Tie 2 times. When you tie, go ahead and weave the remaining line into the beads and then cut out the excess, just like I showed you earlier. Okay, When that is done, you're going to do the same thing on the other side of the handle. Okay, so we are going to just look at that side. If you don't like it like that, if you don't like the way it is looking, you can just close it up a bit. Add one, add your line, sorry, pass your line through the last bead there. Okay, use your other fishing line, pass through the other side, the next bead on the other side. Use your other line, pass through the next bead on the other side, and interlock with one. You can still leave it like that if you want to, but if you don't want, just close it up a bit. Okay, now you're going to be passing your line through the next bead, and then grabbing the other line and passing it through the next bead as well, and then interlock with one. When that is done, you're going to tie up your line. Okay, that is it about that. So when that is done, go ahead and tie your line there, and then you're going to do the same thing here, and then do the same using the other hand. Remember, I asked you to make two handles. You're going to attach it to the other side of the bag as well. All right, so now I'm done attaching the handle to the bag. This is what I am having. As you can see, I have the two sides, so it's time for us to join the two sides together. Okay, I'm going to be getting another new line. I'll cut another fishing line. Okay, so I'm going to fold it into two like that. I'll add, when I fold it into two, I'm going to be adding one bead to it. Just add one bead to it. When you add one, using this your other line, pass through the first bead. Pass through the first bead there on one side of the line, on one side of the bag, sorry. When you pass through that first bead, use your other line again and pass through the first bead again on the other side of the bag. The other side of the bag, okay, that first bead there. When you pass through that first bead there, then you're going to interlock with one bead. I'll add one bead, I'll interlock with it. Okay, when you do that, make sure you are stretching your line and you pull very, very tight. Okay, on this other line again, I'm going to pass through the next bead. I'll pass through the next bead. Then on the other line, I'll pass through the next bead. And then I will interlock with one bead. This is how you're going to continue until you go around the bag, okay, until you close up everything. Make sure you're stretching your line now. Now using the other line again, I'm going to pass through the next bead on the other side. And then I'm going to be passing through the next bead again on the other side. I'll go ahead and interlock with one after that. Okay, so this is how you're going to continue until you close up everything. just go ahead and go around and close up everything. Okay, I told you it is very very easy to make. Oh, so okay, now I am done closing it up. This is what I am having. So I'm going to grab this scarf, you know, just to spice up the bag. I don't want it to look so simple, so I just want to use this scarf. I'm going to tie it right there. If you have anything you can use a pom-pom ball or any charm on your old bag. Anything you have, you can just use it to spice it up. Okay, so that is it about the bag. If you're still watching this video, why not subscribe? If you've not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and comment down below. Just tell me what you think of this bag. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you know you found this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to share with your friends. Don't forget to like, and don't forget to comment. Isn't this beautiful? All right, bye. See you in my next video.